friends, this is Grace and welcome to my channel and welcome to process video 237, and this is basically a continuation of process video 236. It is going to be another 4th of July kind of layout, and I know that I am scrapbooking out of order, meaning that I am not scrapbooking with the holiday in the right holiday with the right month, but I don't scrapbook chronologically. And I actually had pulled out the items for this layout back in December of 2020. I just wanted to use or create this page or these pages, and so I pulled out I created my own kit for it, and I just never ended up making it in December, so I decided to use it now. And also because the beginning of this month I showed my digging through my stash layout, and it's all about cut files, and I had a few, and so I wanted to use up some of those files that I created, and I cut out two big titles, like 4th of July titles. And so I wanted to use them up. And with this one, so I am using just a bunch of vertical photos, I believe. And these are, again, a continuation of the previous process video where I am showing pictures of my family's celebration for 4th of July of 2018. So we usually, for 4th of July, or for the summer vacation, we usually go to California to visit family, and that's where we watch fireworks and do all of that. But in 2018, we decided to stay home here in Colorado because at the end of that month, we were going to go to Idaho so that I can walk for my graduation for my college, because I went back to college to get a degree, my bachelor's degree, and I wanted to do my graduation walk for, for finishing my degree. And so that was going to be in the end of July, and so we figured that our road trip will be spent on that instead. So we just decided to stay home, and we got some safe and sane, boring fireworks for the kids to do. And in these particular set of pictures, these were pictures of my youngest son, and he was doing the fireworks, and I just thought that his expressions were so fun to watch. The way that his eyes were lighting up when he would pop a popper, or when he was like struggling to press onto the popper to release the confettis. It was just so much fun to watch, and so I decided to do a layout that is just him doing his fireworks. And so that's this layout, and this is loosely based off of a Scrapbook Generation sketch, and I can't share you the sketch because it's a paid one, but it's from a set of sketches that are specifically for 3x4 photos. These sketches are specifically for 3x4 photos, and that was one of the sketches that are sketch groupings that I had purchased that I don't ever regret, because if you have watched any of my previous layouts, if you've been watching my process, you know that in the past, I would say 2 years or so, or maybe even 3 years, I have solely used 3x4, or no, that's not right. I have used 4x6, but my go-to are 4x6 and 3x4. So I don't normally use any other sizes than that. And so the 3x4 sketch bundle was something that I knew that I was going to use over and over again. So the first thing that I was going to tell you about this layout was I started this layout a little bit too high. I should have moved or placed the first strip of paper maybe at least an inch lower, because then now my grouping, or the blocks that I was creating, was a little too high for me. And so as you can see, I have a big blue gap on the bottom. And I was going to put that USA on the top, but I am going to end up putting that on the bottom just because it had more space. One thing that I did notice with the sketch that I was using was that it had some circles, and actually the sketch didn't stretch all the way to the left. It was a little bit more to the center, and it was using smaller strips, but I didn't want to, I wanted to add more photos than what the sketch had, and so I stretched it from a little bit more from the left to the right. And so that meant that the circles or whatever element that I was going to add had to be a little bit bigger, but it all worked out to my advantage because I was able to add these stars here. And I just used some leftover pattern papers from the homemade kit that I've already put together. Most of these are the 6x6 paper that I had used to back up my cut file. And then I also put, I added a little bit more from my stash, like some blues and some more reds that I didn't have in my original homemade kit. And I did add these ones with some foam adhesive, or some dimensional adhesive, I should say, just because I wanted them to pop up against that background. Because as you can tell, it's pattern against pattern, it's going to clash. And so one way that I kind of make that not clash too much or not blend too much in some cases is to add the items that are on the foreground with some dimensional adhesive, just to add a little shadow, and so you can see the difference, or that there's a layer between each item. And so now I'm going to be adhering again. I've already backed the cut file with the pattern paper, and I also added some fun foam to that, and I also had lifted all of, or peeled off all of the adhesive, or the backs of the adhesive, so that you don't have to see me peel off all of this adhesive, just like what I did in the previous layout. So initially, as you can see, I had that 3x4 pattern paper where I'm putting that banner piece. Initially, I had wanted that to house my journaling, but again, I had put a lot of these layers or strips a little bit too high, and so I'm going to end up just using that as a place to put some layered embellishments. I did cut these stars with a die, and has stitching on the edges of it, and I really like that one. It's a nesting die, and so I was able to pick kind of not the perfect size. Well, maybe it is the perfect size, but I love nesting dies because you get more for your dollar, because then there's multiple sizes that you can choose from. And so I'm just adhering this particular banner piece with some more fun foam. And as you can see, one of the stars, I had cut that like closer to the edge of this scrap of paper, and so it's not a complete star, but I don't worry about that because I know that I can tuck that in behind elements such as that banner that I added. And so because I have a ton of these stars, that I'm going to add a few more here and there, and basically at this point I'm just embellishing now. I have my photos, I have my title, and I also have my journaling. So for me, all of the most important elements of a layout is already there, and so now it's time to just play and decorate the layout. So that is it. I will have some close-up shots at the end of it, so I hope that you'll stay tuned with that. I hope that you will like this video, and if you do, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing, and let me know which part of this layout was your favorite. Do you like the banner pieces, the strips, I should say, the cut file, the stars, the expressions on my son's face, because I really adore that. And these are the moments where I am grateful that I'm scrapbooking, because it just brings me back to those moments, and it makes me appreciate life so much better. So thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in another video. Bye.